Good afternoon, YouTube. Thought I'd make a quick video update on what all's I've gotten done in the last couple weeks. And this one happened last night. I had to wait till about 6:30 before the UPS guy finally showed up, which I was really thrilled about because the app said between 9:15 and 1:15, you know, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it took him till 6:30 to deliver the friggin' thing. I was pretty pissed. It's only when you're waiting for something does it not show up, which is most of the time. And then when you're not expecting something, it shows up at 9 in the morning. So, well, here she is. But, gauge pod, and when you're sitting like I am and you go to look up, it's really hard to see anything with them gauges. You look out the corner of your eye and you gotta like dip way over to really see what's going on, what it's really pointing at. But I'm kind of disappointed about that. I know Autometer does sell like wedges that you can put behind here to help angle it, but I don't know if that'll work on especially this one because of the little holder on the back looks like this. That goes around the back. These go over the studs on the back, and then it's got nuts, which must have lost a couple. So there's supposed to be a couple for that. But and then the nuts, thread onto the bolts. But they're pretty much flush with the nut. So I don't know that having a spacer wedge would help with that. But it'd be nice if I could get these to stick out just a little bit further. It's just at such a downward angle, and that's going to be how Dad's LBZ is when we finally do his, because that cubby is at such a weird angle. My phone's not even really showing. But it's just such a really steep angle compared to the normal console cubby thingy, like on my LBZ. But I took the pillar off, the pod off, or whatever, and I gotta try and get all this crap out of here. I'm just gonna have to replace this pillar is what it's gonna come down to. And I would like to flush mount these tweeters so they are more flush, obviously, like it implies in the name. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to do that though, because I don't think these are threaded at all, which I can easily check here. Yeah, they're not threaded, they're just kind of ribbed. So I don't know. That might work though, it might. If I drill that hole just the right size, it'll pop in there. With the new seat cover and everything, this phone will let me do that, which is nice. This phone will let me do that, so there you can get a wide shot of everything now as it starts raining, which is wonderful. And we're pretty much done in this one. I still have to put on my intermediate shaft, which you can't really see. It's buried back there underneath parts. But color matched floor mats, even though the phone kind of makes it look gray. Not a lot's changed in here. I just got done with a job. I just folded the seats up today. Give me a second. Sorry. I really like the fact my phone lets me switch between the different cameras. My new phone. Definitely a lot better than the GoPro. I'll be selling the GoPro here shortly. I don't use it. I haven't used it since the last video I made. And a lot of it has to do with that frickin', you take the SD card out or plug it in, extract the video, edit the video, or upload the video, or import, then edit, then export, then upload. And holy Hannah, it just takes forever. But you can see what I was talking about a bit with the angle of everything. Let me just turn on all the lights, I guess that helped. But, so you got my driving view, and you look up. They're still kind of cut. Well, the phone makes it a little more cut off because the lens is all the way to the left of the phone. I can see about that much of the gauges. So that's a whole lot better. It's a less steep of an angle, which is nice. So, I don't know. To me, I don't know. It's really steep in that truck, which makes it really kind of difficult to see. But man, was it a bear to get that in there. It was a bear to get this one in here, this pod. It's such a tight fit. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's a 2-person job. I had to have Dad help me. I stretched the plastic out with a screwdriver while he tapped it with a rubber mallet. It took 2 people to get that sucker in there. I tried all my might by myself to get that thing in there, beating on it with a rubber mallet and this and that and the other. Oh, I couldn't get it. That was frustrating. That console's plastic is less flexible than this one, so. But that's what I mean by this style console. Where the one with the sunroof, it's a shorter console, and it's got an angle like that. Well, you know, like that instead of the angle that it's already at, you know. Hard to tell, but you know what I mean. It's just at a steeper angle, which gives you less of an ideal view. And I'm going to have to replace this HomeLink. For some reason, it will not program anymore. It says, oh, this flashing means it's ready to program, but I'll hold the garage door. It'll do its rapid flash, and you're like, okay, you can let off now, like the directions say. And then you press it again, and it doesn't learn. It just, I'm ready to learn. Then it learns, and you let off, and you press it again, I'm ready to learn. It won't remember it. It won't hold the memory, which is really frustrating. But I've got another HomeLink I can try and swap it with, so I'm going to do that. But it's just really frustrating why it quit working. I know the one in there gives me problems too from time to time, but it's not. Eventually it works, but this one it just won't. I tried with Mom's garage door opener, I tried with this one, and I cleared it to get Mom's to work. So now I don't have this one in here, which I got it to program, I don't know, freaking probably going on 4 to 6 months ago. That's just dumb. Really dumb. So I'm going to swap that HomeLink, and I'm waiting on a color matched window switch bezel. I do have this one for sale. I'm asking $100 for it. I'll ship it on your dime. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the wrong color. And I'm like, if me trying to spray paint this bezel is not going to go over well. I mean, the wood trim's in good condition. So it just isn't going to go well with me trying to spray paint it. The wood's going to get covered. And then you got this in here, which is gray instead of beige. So I ordered a beige one. That one should be coming, I think, tomorrow, maybe. I'm not sure. But, I mean, that one looks pretty doggone good, you know. So, especially with the lights on and whatnot. Definitely matches a lot better. And I can't wait to get a bezel to match. I do notice this hole all the time. It's driving me bonkers. Dad's like, you can get a plastic plug and paint it the right color and stick it in there. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to see the plug then. I don't like holes in plastic. I hate it. I hate it. It's like this bezel is a little worse for wear than the 80,000 mile one I got that matches this console plastic. But they mounted, they had that hole, they had a hole here. Focus. Why? Oh, autofocus lock. What the frick? Anyway, one hole here and a hole here, and then they had 2 small like screw holes there. Like they tried mounting the DSP-5 switch all over the place. I was like, no. So this looks a little aged compared to the 80,000 mile one. I just don't want holes. I swapped out the side panels and everything on this console because when I got this console, it had CB mounting holes on the side, and it's oh man. This knee bezel, which I got, I don't remember if it was with this console that I got it or what, but I got it from somewhere. It wasn't the one that came in the 06 GMC, and that had holes in it from a brake controller, which that one's mounted on the metal rail underneath, so that's not a big deal to me. And I just don't understand why people screw stuff into plastic. It's there for life. It's there for life. Those are holes. Oh my gosh. So yeah. And because this has holes, I have a black one, or not a black one, a blue one from the 01. I am going to strip it down with acetone to bring it down to the factory black, which is what all this black speckling is. Oh, if my phone would focus. Yeah, all this black is the paint coming off. So I'm going to strip it down, and I'm going to paint that one this color, obviously. So that'll look a lot nicer. Everything should match a bit more because that dash pad is a little more faded than the rest of the 80,000 mile plastic. So, plastics. But yeah, man, she's really turning out. I'm still on the hunt for a beige rear seat, leather, and I'm a little apprehensive about it because I am hauling tools in here now more often now that the rear seat actually folds flat. That is so nice. And the carpet on the back of the seat, I'm sure, is going to be beige. I'm going to have to put some kind of moving blanket or something down in order to keep the back of the seat from turning black with grease and everything else. So, which is really nice about the gray and the carpet on the back of this. It's just like, it's dang near black. Good luck seeing anything. Load her up. So that's definitely nice. I had a bunch of tools in here today. I had to replace a window regulator on a 2001, doesn't really matter though, a Chevy Cavalier. The rear driver's side would go down, and it was like a capacitor or something would lose its charge when you'd hit the up button. It would just kind of go pew and stop. Wait about 5 minutes and pew. But so it also needs a brand new center console master switch for all the windows because it's got bad contacts in it or something. So that's something we're gonna have to order probably for that. But it's definitely a lot better than it was. I just picked the car up not long ago. 165,000 miles. Thing runs and drives perfectly fine. For 165,000, they did everything they needed to. No strut knocks, no nothing. Just goes. And transmission's good. You know, I'm glad I found it for this person. It really needed it. It really helped them out, and it's cheap too. It's only $1,400 out the door, tax, title, everything. And it's got rocker rust and a little bit of rust underneath the gas door on the body. But other than that, the underside of the car is pretty doggone clean, believe it or not. Brake lines aren't touched or nothing. They're clean. So she'll be set to go for a good long while. And but that back window was down about 4 inches, and it was, you know, it's been raining the last few days, as you can see. So it came down to that needed to be replaced. I mean, I hooked direct power up to it today when I went to swap it out to see, oh, maybe it's just the switch and the regulator's okay. Nope. And it sucks because those on the older cars were, I don't know about all of them, but the Cavalier that regulator was riveted to the door. So you got to drill the rivets out, and I tried grinding them off with the Dremel at first. Well, second. I tried drilling it with a small drill bit. This is my first time doing rivets, so give me a break. But I tried with a smaller drill bit, and I'm like, this ain't going nowhere. Okay, and then I tried grinding it and chiseling it, and that just wasn't going all that well. So I YouTubed it, bigger drill bit, pop goes the weasel. And so that worked. And I did that with the rest of them. Even when they started spinning, I just kept giving the trigger on the drill just pulls to stop spinning, and it would kept, you know, intermittently continued to drill it out, even though it would spin, and it would stop, and the drill bit would get it a little bit. It worked, and got them all out in a reasonable amount of time compared to using the Dremel. You know, I pop the Dremel out for pretty much everything these days, and it really sucks that the Dremel gets in the way of itself, of the job you need to do. It's more often than not, I need a Dremel with a 90-degree head on it, because the Dremel body itself just gets in the way of what I need to do. It's really frustrating. And I almost picked up a little shield for the Dremel cutting wheel today, so that way, you know, sparks weren't hitting me in the eyes. I could kind of see what I'm doing. But you know, it sticks out probably about that far from past the blade. And it's like, well, that don't work, especially for butting up against the metal of the door for rivets and stuff, you know. That thing's dang near useless. I've yet to come across a use for the Dremel that doesn't require the Dremel to be like fully up against something, like the blade fully up against a flat surface that you're cutting against. And I just, you know, they got all these little bits and guards and all this stuff to keep you protected from high spinning objects, and it's like, I can't have that stuff on there. I can't get at my project then. It's really frustrating to me. And it's really hard to control the Dremel when you, like the router bit, man, that goes nuts. And the cutting wheel got my nice new door panel when I was cutting out for the seed heater switch. It just got away from me a little bit. It's hard to tell. You can see it. It's cutting along the bottom and zing, was like, holy, no, really? So, and I've got the little, almost like the handle that screws on the top so you get extra leverage. It still managed to do that. You know, I had that on there today while using the grinder wheel and trying to cut the rivet off. I couldn't keep control of the thing no matter how much resting my arms on this, that, and the other. I couldn't keep control of the thing enough to do anything. It just kept shooting off every which way all over. Oh, it was annoying. But, I wouldn't mind doing another window regulator. I'm pretty sure the back right one's going to have to get changed soon enough if she uses it often enough. But I told her not to, just because the fact that the window switch in the console is so jimmy rig, it'll go down, but you hit it up and it won't do anything. You won't hear any clicking or nothing, and you sit there and play with it, and then finally, I found if you hold it while pressing really hard, after about 2 seconds it'll go up. Slowly, but it'll go up. And I'm like, yeah, don't play with that one. So, and Eric the car guy did a video because he had a driver's side window regulator on a Cavalier. He was doing the same thing. You'd click it and you'd hear a clicking noise. I mean, this is what both those were doing with the factory switch. You'd press the button, you'd hear the regulator click, but it wouldn't move. And he put direct power to the regulator and zzz, zzz, up, down all day. And so he replaced the switch and all as well. I don't know what it is, but it seems like them Cavaliers have a thing for switches, because not only does the center console window switch assembly not work right, but the rear door switches don't work for the windows. I'm like, nice. So, yeah. Does it even pay to buy the OEM switches? Does it pay to buy the aftermarket switches? I mean, these suck. You know, they can't even survive a few years. So, I don't know. Cheap, but it's a good commuter car for her. Literally, she goes 10, 15 miles tops. And, you know, just perfect little commuter car. Get it and go. Starts every time type of thing. Which is another thing, too. I mean, we picked it up at kind of a sketchy place. It was rated at 2.8 stars on Google and out of 60-some reviews. That's not very good. And I went and looked at the car. I first got in it, went to crank it over. It sounded like the battery was a little low, and the starter did not complete its job. It kind of gave up. I was like, what? Dead battery? So I cranked it again and it fired up. I went, interesting. It must have a pretty good diagnostician there. I mean, it was throwing crankshaft and camshaft position sensor code, and I'm like, well, that would probably keep it from firing up. And I cleared the codes, and that's when it fired up. And I took it for a drive. Perfect. Just for the mileage, for the age, no noises. Perfect. And I get back, I call my grandma, and I'm like, hey, man, this thing, you know, for the price, it's better than what you'd get for this price anywhere else, pretty much. Shut it off, went to fire it right back up, and it did the same thing. I'm like, and it just kept doing that. I tried. And I talked to the guy. Oh, we'll knock a couple $100 off of it. All right, that's when I think it was. They wanted $1,500, not including tax, title, all that stuff. So $1,400, everything included out the door. That's pretty good deal. So, and I do the work myself, and we looked at it on Friday. Saturday, Sunday passed. Went there on Monday to pick it up, and no notice. Hadn't told the guy we're coming to get it. Nothing. Go to pick it up. They got it in the shop, and they put a new starter in it. Same price, $1,400 out the door. They had the rear door panel off, getting ready to do that window regulator, but that part wasn't going to come until next Monday. I may have my days mixed up, but anyway, it'd been a couple days, and they said it wasn't going to be there till the next. I think we picked it up on Friday. No, we picked it up on Saturday. He said it wouldn't be until Monday, and we were like, well, we need to leave with it today, I guess. That's what my grandma was saying. So, that's where I put the window regulator in. I kind of wish that we had waited and they put it in and paid a little bit more, but it is what it is. It worked out though. Gave me some experience with rivets and makes me want to buy a rivet gun or something. Something to do kind of a factory rivet. I mean, the one hole on there, I couldn't get a screw through this way, through from the inside of the door out. I had to cut it really stubby compared to the other ones and put it through, outside in, have a nut in a wrench slid up in there, and then thread it through, and it was kind of a pain, but it worked. I got it. All 4 bolts are holding the thing. It just kind of sucks, though. I'd rather just have a rivet gun and pop, done. So, more tools to have, that is for sure. And I got the toolbox space for it finally. I love having this toolbox. If you haven't seen my toolbox tour, just go back in my videos and watch that, because it made a world of difference for me in the professionalism. I love being able to just open my toolbox, have all my similar tools spread out on a plane, and just, there, I need that one. It says I had all my pliers in one drawer, and that was not, I had to, sift through, and it blends in and you can't find it. Where is it? You look all over the place for it and you can't find it. You come back to the drawer and there it is. You're like, I just looked in here. But now they're just all spread out. I almost need another drawer for pliers. I've got that many. Oh man, but more tools to have, that is for sure. I suppose I could give you a quick sneak peek of that, because I did upgrade that a little bit. I know one of the things I was gonna do when I did my toolbox tour, was gonna wait until I got some organizational tools to help, and I finally got some. Let me turn on the overhead lights here. Don't mind the mess. I mean, it's always a mess in here, but I literally unloaded my tools and called it a day. So, but went to Menards and I picked up magnetic rails. They actually work out quite well. I have this one up here for my picks and stuff. I haven't put my tools away. Like I said, it was raining like cats and dogs. I just unloaded it, set it down, and I'll worry about it tomorrow. But I've got everything organized pretty freaking well. I'm missing 2 hammers actually right here. But what really bugged me the most was I bought this kit from Sears back when I first was buying tools. It came, a bunch of Torx, E-Torx, metric and standard, as well as 3/8 and 1/4 inch drive, hex, screwdriver bits in socket form, and they didn't come with any kind of holder or nothing. So the magnetic rails really worked out for all that stuff, and I'm missing a bunch of my Torx bits that were originally in that kit. Don't ask me where they went, but if you do seats on a G99-07 GM, I don't know about any newer ones, so don't ask me. But the E14 E-Torx, you need those for 2 of the 4 bolts on a seat. So if that's what you're missing, And, you know, I'm glad that this kit I bought while working on my mom's car really came in handy. Stubby triple squares, because I had these ones first time I went to use them on her car, the first time ever getting to use them, and they're too long, and I'm like, you suck. So I had to. I'm glad this came with free 1-day shipping, so I was like, freaking right. But that, I had to stop twice. I ordered that, and I ordered it's air tools, flywheel hold tools for her car, which was this one that I ended up needing. Unfortunately, these are different spacing than her flywheel, and I think these are too, or something like that. I don't know, but you know, they send you multiple different ones in the kit, and it was only like $17, but it cost me $30-some for overnight shipping. Otherwise, it was gonna probably take a week, and I'm like, I'm not waiting a week for a tool I need now. I wanted to get the job done, and it all got done in the right amount of time. I replaced the rear main seal on her car. 2.0 turbo, 2011 A4, so Quattro, not that that matters, but yeah. And I put the ECS tuning rear main seal with the billet aluminum plate and the spring flange seal or something like that. So million times beefier than that pile of crap Audi put in their factory. That thing was paper thin, like tissue paper. I couldn't believe that, but I had to buy another thing of clamps while I was out there because one of my coolant hoses was leaking really bad on the truck. The spring clamp let loose, just wouldn't hold anymore. But yeah, just stuff that accumulated over the last couple years, and this drawer works good for all that stuff. Yeah. And I also picked up another set of pry bars, which is in my toolkit I haven't put away yet. And on brushes too, I picked up a new thing of brushes, which a few of those are in the thing I haven't put away. I don't know what to do with this drawer yet, so I think I got a couple empty drawers, but I got some toolbox organization now finally, and I'm just glad that this, they had a, I can't remember how big this rail is, it says on it, 25 inches, and that really comes in handy, so, but yeah, man. I also bought one of these with the airbag switch, wherever that's at, and so I could have the blank cubby that I needed for the crew cab there, but yeah. So I just figured to give you guys a quick little sneak peek at what I've been up to. Not a whole lot. It's been mainly waiting on parts and this and that and the other, and I'm not looking forward to doing that intermediate shaft and having to pull the frickin' wheel liner. I hate darts. I hate them. They suck. So I'm hoping this next payday, roughly the end of September. Well, that's not next payday, but we're getting closer to it. The end of September, I'm hoping to get the front bumper off of the 06 that's not painted and get that painted maroon. And we'll finally get the 06 front end put on here, and I think that'll really look pretty slick. I mean, 01's got a look of its own with the fog lights. It really helps, but I'm really looking forward to having a more modern truck, because then I could put the brush guard on here. I could now, but I don't know, I'd rather wait for the 06, and that'll really spruce it up, man. That'll really look good. Anyway, like I said, it's been a really long video already. But not too much has been going on at all. Just fiddle farting with this, that, the other. I don't know if I did show you the one thing I ended up getting while I was out in Michigan. Besides the Death Grip, Kryptonite, Extreme Duty Pitman arm that's on this truck now. This one. I don't know if you can see it whole well. The D-Max Store Arctic Ice transmission cooler. The trans was getting pretty toasty, and I was doing about 90, 95 down the freeway out to Michigan and back. Now, yeah, on the way back I hit 204 degrees, and on the way out there I don't even remember, I think it was about 203 degrees, and I was like, yeah, I should probably stop now. So, but the trans cooler on those trucks are just not, they're not good. They're hidden behind the bumper, where this one's smack dab behind the grill. Yeah, that works out fantastic. I don't know why they got rid of that. They stuck it right here, not right here, right here, not right here, right here. That does well to get air across them fins. Idiots. And a fan doesn't even draw air in across that, so jeez. They really set the LBZ up to fail, if you ask me. I mean, just from the Y bridge to the transcooler to the pain in the ass tight spaces that the LBZ engine bay is compared to the LLY. Night and day difference. Serpentine belt job goes from, 15-20 minutes tops to a freaking hour and a half of ripping the intake out to get at the freaking tensioner pulley, and oh lord, someone needs to get shot over at the engineering department there. It's overcomplicated, no reason. So anyway, like I said, let me know what you think. Check out my toolbox tour when all my tools are actually in there, and let me know what you guys think of whatever you're thinking down in the comment section, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. God bless.